Hi everybody, this is Felicia, and I am here today because I am going to be doing a Scraplift Saturday for the Crafty Maven. And as you saw in the beginning, I'm going to be scraplifting Marcy Tierra, better known, well, actually Tracy Banks, better known as Marcy Tierra on her YouTube channel. I am going to be scraplifting a layout, that layout that you saw at the beginning from her. So I'm giving her credit because I really love how she did the little whatchamacallit there, the little party. I can forget what those are called. But anyway, so I love how she did that with her letter tiles. And so I'm going to kind of see if I can duplicate that as get as close as possible. And hopefully you will enjoy this video as well. Alrighty, I will be starting. Alrighty, so I am using some paper that I found in my Felicia Young kit. For the background there, and I'm also going to be using that black and white for the outline there. And the reason why I'm using those two pieces of paper, because in the beginning, as you could see in Tracy's example, she used a black and white bottom for the frame, and so I don't have the same exact black and white paper, but I'm using one that I like, so I'll pull that out. Now I'm going to trim up my photo here, and my photo is going to be small. They're going to be 3x4s, and I'm not sure what size Tracy's using, but I think they're small too as well. And I'm going to be using two in my layout, and I'm going to be using a far away and a close up. Now, the inspiration piece had these circles, which I thought was an awesome idea, and I like the color combination, and so I'm going to go ahead and use that color combination, a little bit of that as well in this layout. And I thought it would be a good idea to kind of use some of the color schemes that's in the inspiration piece that you saw at the beginning. So I'm going to be doing that. And a lot of these products that I'm using right now are from an old collection, and it was called On Trend 2. And I really like that collection. So I have some left over. I don't have a whole lot left over, but I have enough of it left over, and I'm going to be using that and for this layout. So I'm using bits and pieces, as you can see, from that collection, and put them together here on the photo. Now the photo is that's not snow, just so that you guys will know. The title is Hail is Snow. We had a very, very significant hailstorm here in Sacramento one day, so much so that it took 2.5 days for it to actually melt, and a lot of it fell on the ground to the point to where they had to be shoveled, which is very unusual for Sacramento. I mean, you can see the close up there. I have some of it in my hand, and it was a lot. Oh my gosh, it was the crazy. It was crazy. So what you see right there, like I said in that picture, is the hail, and that is actually the second day. It took it a while for it to disappear in certain areas, and that whole entire grass area was just covered in hail, and it was thick. It wasn't thin layered too, and that's what was amazing by a lot of people, is because it was so thick and it was so much of it. So I'm adding some more goodies here as we go. I'm adding just a bunch of stuff down here to create a nice interesting background here. So so um, pretty much I'm just making it all blend, not blend together, but putting it all together. Okay, so I'm going to be using these tiles. These tiles are going to be used to create the title, and I've had these in my stash for quite a while, and I just never really used them. And so I saw Tracy's layout and decided to go ahead and use them. And I have a couple packs of these. I have a darker pack as well, because they had two different tones there. So I got a lighter and I got a darker tone, and I decided to go ahead and use the lighter one on this layout. So I'm getting ready to start gluing these things down, because they have to be glued because they're not going to stick. I had a little trouble getting the back of the package. So I'm going to get more twine than I need here, and I'm going to go ahead and start putting these tiles down. And in hindsight, I wish I had glued them all down first and then added the twine, because it would have been a lot easier for me to do it that way. And that's what I'm doing here. And I'm adding that little snowflake. I cut it in half so that I can add it to different parts of the page. And that snowflake is from a hip kit from a while back. I don't remember exactly what hip kit it came from, but it was there, and I decided to go ahead and use it while I had the chance because of the title. And I cut it in half to spread it out and give it some different interest on the page by tucking it under some of the layers that I already have down. So now I'm going to start adding on my tile letters, and I have to use some glue because they don't have a lot of sticky on them. And so the quick dry glue helps them to stick down so that I can get these right. Now, in hindsight, I should have stuck the tiles down first and then fooled around with the twine. So that way it would have been a little bit easier for me to mess with here instead of, it was so time consuming doing it this way. So I have to remember that for future, and that way I don't have to spend so much time, because I wanted it to loop de loop a little bit better, but at the same time I didn't want it to loop too much. You know, I wanted it to have a little bit of a kind of like a little curve and then a loop. I like the way Tracy did hers, and it was really nice. I like how hers came out and everything. But I thought I'd just do mine just a little tiny bit different so that I can, you know, have a little different variety and things like that on the banner here that I am putting together. So like I said, this is a lot easier the way I'm going to be um, putting this banner down. I wish like I said, I wish I had did it a little differently. But you're going to see here at the end, I'm going to get an idea, and the idea comes, of course, you know, after the fact, after gluing most of the tiles down. And I liked how I did it this time. What I'm doing right now is I'm just gluing all the tiles down, and then I am going to put some of the quick dry glue across the top just like that, and then put the twine down, which is what I should have did in the first place, because it would have been better and quicker and faster that way. So I'll just remember that for future. So I am, let's see, gluing down the last little bits and going to twirl up the end here of the twine, and I'm going to use some more of the quick dry glue here to glue the end parts of it down. And then I will be done fooling around with this thing, and then I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put my journaling here. So I'm going to add a couple more pieces here on the side here, the left-hand side, and then I'm going to work on a journaling spot for the layout here. And I think I end up drawing the lines at the bottom there, as you can see, and then I end up journaling about what happened, about how this was an unusual hail for Sacramento and how it came down. You had to drive carefully too, trust me, and how it just looked like snow. People had to shovel the driveways. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and be sure to tune in for more of the Crafty Maven for more inspiration. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.